When I opened my email and I went through, I saw an email from an anonymous person, and when I opened it, I saw this one here. There is someone by the name of Alisa Pena from Belgium. She said, "Can we be friends?" And she asked, "Where are you from? I have something sensitive for us to discuss together. A sensitive offer that will assist you like in a big way." Yeah, and she said that, "I am seeking your assistance to execute this one. So for further information, I'll be waiting for your response." So I have to get back to her. So that's what she said, and then I replied to her. And then we continued with the conversation, and she said that, "I like you, I want to be a good friend with you." And she told me all about herself, what she has passed through in life and all that stuff. Like she told me, and she even said that she lost her husband and all that. And then I replied to her and said that, "Oh, so sorry for you, all that. So sorry, but you'll be fine." And then she said she has offer for me, like she has something for us to do together. It's a big business deal for us. So she asked me if I can, work with her and we can, execute this business plan. And this is what she said. She said that she has an amount that is there in her account, and she wants me to help her to get this money out of her account, and which is $14.5 million. My goodness, this is a huge amount of money. And she said that this one is due to the war that happened some years back then, and they have allocated this fund to the victims and the deceased, the relatives of the deceased. Yeah, so this is the amount that they put into her account, and she wanted me to help her to execute the business together and get this money out of her account so that she can use it and do her own thing. And portion of it, she has promised me that she's going to give it to me. And then I said, "Okay, so how can we do it?" And then she gave me every instruction, little by little, what I'm going to do. And she said, "For us to get this money out, you will have to contact my bank, and then my bank will process it." And then I said, "Why not you do it by yourself?" And she said, "No, I cannot do that because I'm working in that bank, and if I'm going to do that, it will be very suspicious. So the money is in the bank that I'm currently working right now, so you have to be the one to do that." And then I said, "Okay." So she gave me every instruction to follow, and then she said, "First you have to contact the bank, you have to write a letter to the bank, my bank." And then I said, "Okay." And I said, "You have to assist me with the letter." And she wrote the letter, and she said, "You copy paste and you send it to the bank." Yes. So she wrote the letter and she sent it to me, and I said, "Okay, you have a look at it. I'm about to send it to the bank now." So I copy paste the letter and then I sent it to the bank. And then the bank responded, and bank asked me about certain information about myself, my name and all that, my identity and those stuffs. And then I asked the lady, this is what the bank told me. I forward the email to her, and then she said, "Okay, this is what you're gonna do." So she provided me with necessary information that I would need to reply to the bank again. And then I got all this information from her and I sent it to the bank. And then the bank asked me to contact the lawyer and then to provide certain information again. And then I told her that this is what the bank asked, so what can we do? And then she said, "Okay, this is what you're gonna do. So you have to contact the lawyer." Even the message or the letter that I'm going to send it to the lawyer, she wrote everything and she sent it to me, and she said, "You just copy paste and send it to the lawyer." And when I copy pasted everything and I sent it to the lawyer replied to me, and this is what the lawyer asked me. Yes. So for me to get approval and all this stuff, I have to provide all this information, and there are some fees involved in there. Yes. So this is what the lawyer said. Yeah, it is. You can see. The lawyer said, okay, the registration of your particulars is 50 British pounds. That's number one. Number two is application stamp duty fee is 50 British pounds. Number three is processing insurance is 50 British pounds. Number four is processing insurance of an affidavit is 100 British pounds. And section two is about the other information and then their fees as well. So the total, it says that should be around 1,335 GBPs, British pound. And then I forward all these messages to the lady, Miss Alice Apena, and she said, okay, I'm going to stop here because I must not be seen in all that, she said, because she is in the bank. So if anything she does, the bank would suspect her. So she said, all of these things she will be doing it, even paying all these fees. And then I told her, I'm just a student. I don't have money. Where can I get money to do all the stuff? If you have any money in your account, you can send it to my account, and then I will use it to send it send it to the lawyer to pay all these fees, and then later on after we get the money, like, you can reimburse. And she said, no, I cannot do that. She asked me if she advised me if I can go and borrow to my relatives or friends, borrow some money from them, and later I can reimburse them. And I said, no, if I'm going to convert this money into my own currency, it's like 6,000 kina in PNG currency. So that's too much for me. People cannot even trust me. So I cannot do that, I told her. And then she said, you have to do anything and everything to find that money and pay it, because $14.5 million is a huge amount of money, and imagine the portion of it you're going to get. And she promised me a certain percentage that I'm going to get out of that money. And then from there I realized that there is something fishy going on. And then this is what I replied to her. I said, my dear, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Have you achieved what you have worked for? I think you should come out of what you are doing right now. You are just chasing the wind or rainbow. You will never catch it. Then I realized that it is a scam. And then she found out that I must, cut her. So she stopped for a while. I was texting her, emailing her, but she never responded. And then after some time, she responded again and said, oh, she said that I did not forget you, like, you are not forgotten. She said she thanked me and appreciated me that at least you have put in some effort, and now I got the money and I allocated this amount for you. She told me that she allocated $300,000 for me in US dollar for me, and she asked me to claim it and take it. She said, I left $300,000 for you so you can take it. So this is what you're gonna do. And I know that it's still a scam, so I don't want to continue on, but I ignore all her messages and I tell her not to do something like that again. And then she stopped along the way and we lost contact. So this is a romance scam. Yeah, there are different types of scams, but this is a romance. Like, I almost got scammed through romance. Yeah. So guys, you have to be careful. Thank you.